So I think that when people find out that they have a limited amount of time on this earth, meaning they find out that they have a terminal illness, that they will experience a paradigm or a shift in in their beliefs and their thought processes. To me, I think that if a person were to receive that type of news, that they would start thinking about all of the relationships that they had in their life and relationships that they have in their life, and thinking about how to change or amend those relationships. Um, that's just my thought and my perspective. I think that if I was unfortunate enough to receive notice of some type of terminal illness or debilitating illness that would change my life forever, that I would probably reach out and be willing to make amends uh, with people who I've had issues with in my life, currently and in the past. I think that when we face our own mortality, we start to realize that people are imperfect. They have flaws. Um, Sometimes people mean well, even when we don't think they mean well. And sometimes us as people, we don't give others grace. Um, point, you know, point in thought. I had invited someone who I consider to be a close friend to a very important event that me and my family were having. And it took them a few days to respond. And when they responded, they said, oh, I can't make it to your event. I'm going to somebody else's event on that day. At first, I took it a little personal. And I thought to myself, well, if I was important to you, you could at least stop by, my event before you went off to, the other event that your friend was having. But after I took a little bit of time to think about their perspective, I'm like, why am I taking this personal? It could be maybe they really did commit to this other person's event, and maybe they really are helping this other person get ready for their event, and maybe they can't actually make my event. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's not that they don't like me or that I'm not a priority in their life. Maybe it's just that they actually really have another commitment, which is fine. And I say that to say that with me, if somebody asks me to do something, to be somewhere, I'm always the person to say, I can make that happen. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to, fit you in, instead of just, simply saying, unfortunately, I can't make that event, you know, not overcommitting myself. And I just hate that it just took me this long to realize that it's okay to say no. It's okay to not be able to do something. It's okay to not overcommit yourself. And if they don't like it, then they weren't your friend in the first place. But again, this thought process is not from me currently having any debilitating illnesses, and I pray to God that I don't get one. But it just comes from me watching others that have been close to me or that I know of that have had debilitating or terminal illnesses, just watching the paradigm. And from what I've seen, some people are receptive to these people reaching out, and others still are not receptive to the people reaching out and trying to atone, for the wrongs that they've done. So I don't know. That's just my thought. Something I'm just pondering on. Um, you know that saying or that commercial they used to have out that says having a baby changes everything. I think having a terminal illness or some type of debilitating illness changes everything. It changes your thought process. It changes the way that you see life. Changes the way that you view and treat relationships, as it should. Different experiences cause us to grow. And, part of growth is shifting our paradigm. We wouldn't be human if our perspectives stayed the same all the time. So I don't know. If you're watching this or listening to this, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I appreciate it. I definitely like dialogue regarding these types of topics.